Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram.
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram.
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Hare.
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare. Hare Ram, Ram.
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram.
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram.
Krishna,
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram.
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare.
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare. Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram. Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare.
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare
Hare
Hare. Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna.
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Ram, Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
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 Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Rama,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Rama,
Hare Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare.
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram Hare
Rama,
Ram
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Hare.
Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Rama,
Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Rama,
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama,
Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram.
Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram Hare Ram
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram Ram
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna Hare
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 Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare.
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Rama,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare
Rama,
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
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 Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna.
Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Hare Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Rama,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram,
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare.
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare.
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare.
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare.
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
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 Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Shri
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Chaitanya Prabhu
Hare Hare,
Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar
Krishna,
Shri
Hare
Rasa
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Ram Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare.
Ram, Ram Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Ram Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
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 Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
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 Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, Ram, Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram.
Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram, Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram, Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Shri Krishna
Krishna,
Chaitanya
Hare
Prabhu
Krishna,
Nityananda Shri
Krishna
Advaita
Krishna,
Gadadhar
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram, Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare Ram,
Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare,
Ram, Ram
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna, Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram Ram
Ram,
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Hare
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 Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare Krishna
Ram,
Hare Krishna
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare,
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Hare Hare Ram
Ram
Hare Ram Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Ram Ram Hare
Ram,
Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram Ram
Hare,
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Ram Ram
Hare,
Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare,
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare.
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare
Ram
Hare Hare Krishna
Ram,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Hare Ram Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram,
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram 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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Hare.
Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram 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 Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Ram,
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare Ram,
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare.
Ram Hare Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram Ram Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Chaitanya
Ram,
Prabhu
Hare Ram,
Advaita
Ram
Gadadhar
Ram,
Srimati
Hare
Bhakti
Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare.
Krishna Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Ram, Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna.
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna.
Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare.
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna.
Hare Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna Ram Ram Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Rama
Hare Hare
Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram Ram Ram
Rama,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Rama,
Hare
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 Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Ram
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Ram 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 Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna
Rama, Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
जय श्री
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Krishna
Hare
चैतन्य
Krishna,
प्रभु
Ram Hare
नित्यानंद श्री
Ram
अद्वैत
Ram Ram
गदाधर
Hare
श्रीवास
Hare
आदि
Krishna
गौर
Krishna
भक्तवृंद
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare
हरे
Krishna,
कृष्ण हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Hare
Ram
कृष्ण
Hare
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Ram
Krishna
Ram
हरे
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
राम
Hare
हरे
Hare
राम
Krishna
राम
Hare
राम
Hare
हरे
Krishna Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
हरे
Krishna
कृष्ण हरे
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Hare
Hare
कृष्ण
Hare,
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Rama,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram
हरे
Ram
कृष्ण
Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
हरे
Hare
राम
Ram
हरे
Hare
Krishna,
राम
Ram
Krishna
राम
Ram
राम
Ram
Krishna,
हरे
Hare
राम
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna
हरे
Hare
Hare
कृष्ण हरे
Krishna
Rama,
कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण
Hare
Hare
कृष्ण
Hare
Rama,
हरे
Ram
Rama,
हरे
Hare
राम
Hare,
राम
Hare
राम हरे
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
हरे
Krishna
कृष्ण हरे
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna
Hare
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Hare,
राम
Hare
हरे राम
Ram Hare
राम राम
Ram
हरे
Ram
राम हरे
Ram
राम
Hare
हरे
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
हरे राम
Krishna
हरे राम
Krishna,
Hare
राम
Hare
राम
Hare,
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
हरे
Ram
कृष्ण
Ram
राम
Hare Hare
राम
Hare
राम
Krishna
हरे
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
हरे
Krishna
Ram Ram Hare 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 Ram Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
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 Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Rama,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Rama,
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
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 Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram, Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
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 Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, 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 Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram, Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram, Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
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 Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram, Ram,
Rama,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare
Krishna, Holy
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Rama, Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Rama, Rama, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram, Hare
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 Hare.
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram.
Hare 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 Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Hare.
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Rama.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Rama, Hare
Krishna Hare
Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram, Hare Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Rama,
Hare
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 Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna.
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Krishna
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram.
Krishna Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram.
Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram.
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram Ram.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare.
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
जय
Krishna
श्री कृष्ण
Krishna,
जय
Hare
श्री
Hare.
कृष्ण
Hare
प्रभु
Hare.
नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
Hare
श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद
Hare
हरे
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण कृष्ण
Krishna,
हरे हरे
Krishna
हरे
Krishna,
राम
Hare
राम राम
Hare.
हरे कृष्ण हरे 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 राम
Hare Krishna, Hare
हरे
Krishna,
हरे
Krishna
हरे
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Hare.
कृष्ण कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Rama,
हरे
Hare
राम
Rama,
हरे
Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
हरे
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
राम
Hare
हरे
Hare.
राम
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
हरे
Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram Ram,
Ram, Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram, Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Ram,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram.
Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram Ram.
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Jai
Hare
Shri
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Chaitanya
Ram,
Prabhu
Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Nityananda Shri
Hare
Advaita
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Gadadara
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Srivastava
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram.
Gadadara.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram.
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Rama,
Hare Hare. Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare. Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram Ram.
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
जय
Krishna,
श्री
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Krishna,
चैतन्य
Hare
प्रभु
Hare,
नित्यानंद
Hare
श्री
Rama,
अद्वैत
Hare
गदाधर
Rama,
श्रीवासादि
Rama,
गौर
Hare Hare,
भक्त।
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining. We are going to read Srimad Bhagavatam. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiret nashtaprayashu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki कृष्णे स्वधाम उपगते धर्मज्ञानादिविसः कलो नष्टं दृशामेषा पुराणार्को अधुनोदितः श्रीमद्भागवतं पुराणं मलं यद्वैष्णवानां प्रियं यस्मिन् पारमहंस्यमेकममलं ज्ञानं परं गीयते तत्र ज्ञानविरागभक्तिसहितं नैष्कर्म्यमाविष्कृतं तच्छृण्वन् सुपठन् विचारणपरो भक्त्या विमुच्येन नरः यस्य वैश्वमानायं कृष्णपरमपुरुषे भक्तिरुत्पाद्यते पुंसां लोकमो शोकमोहभयापः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासुदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः Okay, so we'll read Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on which verse we are on? Let's see. Seventh canto, 14th chapter, Ideal Family Life, verse number 11. Okay. Ashvaghante vasayabhya kaman samvibhajed yatha apyekam atmanodaram nrinam svatvagraho yatha. So ashvagha ante. A means up to, even up to. Shva, the dog. Agha, sinful animals or living entities. Ante, avashayabhya. Avashayabhya, unto the Chandalas, the lowest of men. Kaman, the necessities of life. San vibhajed, should divide. Yatha, as much as. Api, even. Ek kam, one, Atmano, own, Daram, wife, Nrinam, of people in general, Svatva Graha, the wife is accepted as being identical with oneself, Yataha, because of which. Okay, so let's see. So the dogs and all the sinful living entities, everybody, dogs, fallen persons, and untouchables, including chandalas, should all be maintained with proper necessities, which should be contributed by the householders. Even one's wife at home, with whom one is most intimately attached, should be offered for the reception of guests and people in general. So everybody is in Krishna's family. We say Vasudeva Kutumbikam. Everybody is in Krishna's family. Some may be sinful or low-born, but everybody is in Krishna's family. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarva yonishu kaunteya murtaya sambhavantiya tasam brahma mahadyoni aham bija pradapita. He says, I am the seed-giving father in all species of life. So there was one saint, I think in Christianity, he said he would consider even plants and trees as brothers and sisters like that. So he was seeing everybody as part and parcel of God, just like I am part and parcel of God. So there are three things, Chanakya Pandit says, by which a person is considered learned. Matravat paradareshu, considering other women than one's own wife as mother. That's why I say Mataji. Matravat paradareshu, paradravyeshu lostravat, to see others' wealth as garbage means you have no desire to usurp somebody else's property. And the third thing is that Atmavat Sarvabhuteshu, to see others as one's own self. Like we say, do unto others as you would have others do unto you. So this is the heart of a Vaishnava. And Ya Pashyati Sa Pandita, such a person who sees like this is a learned person, which Prabhupada quotes. So others, if they are hungry, if I am hungry, how they would feel. So like that, in that sense, we can be compassionate to others. We identify with others, the principle of empathy. And then if I cause pain to others, how would I feel if somebody caused pain to me? So this is compassion. Only then you can feel compassion. Otherwise, you become insensitive to other people's pains and things like that. So, and even one's wife at home, with whom one is most intimately attached, should be offered for the reception of guests and people in general. So whatever is dear to us should be sacrificed for the service of Krishna or used in the service of Krishna, living entities, the devotees, like that. So our money, our life, which is very dear to us, should be used in the service of others, for the welfare of others. Etavat janma safalyam dehinamiha deshu pranartha diyavacha shreyacharanam sada. It is duty of every living being to work for the welfare of others with his life, with his intelligence, with his money, and with his words. This verse is saying like that. So that's why many devotees have sacrificed their whole life to spread Krishna consciousness, because this is the real welfare activity. So, and such devotees are very dear to the Lord because they have sacrificed so much for Krishna's mission, for Krishna's sake. That's why the first offense is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. So out of envy, we may blaspheme others. Generally, out of envy, it is done. So those who have dedicated so much their life and they are very dear to Krishna, and to blaspheme them is considered a mad elephant offense. So let's read the purport. Although in modern society, the dog is accepted as part of one's household paraphernalia, in the Vedic system of household life, the dog is untouchable. As mentioned here, a dog may be maintained with proper food, but it cannot be allowed to enter one's house, what to speak of the bedroom. So because generally animals are in the lower modes and in the bodily conception of life. So by associating with those in the lower modes, our consciousness can get lower, but we have to be, we can show affection, but not become attached. And they're somewhat unclean also. So we can show affection, but don't become attached. And that's why we have the story of Bharat Maharaj in the Bhagavatam, how he became attached to a deer and he forgot all about his spiritual life. So not at the expense of spiritual life should we become attached on the bodily platform or anything like that, emotional platform. So outcasts or untouchable chandalas should also be provided with the necessities for life. The word used in this connection is yatha, which means as much as deserved. The outcasts should not be given money with which to indulge in more than they need, for otherwise they will misuse it. Yeah, so as much charity as is required to maintain should be given. If you give excess in hands of those who are not qualified, they may misuse it for drugs or some other things, drinking wine or so. Sometimes it's better to give prasadam as charity because money, you don't know what they will do with the money. If people are not qualified and you give charity to them, then they may use it for drugs. So that's why it is said, as much as deserved. The outcast should not be given money with which to indulge in more than they need, for otherwise they will misuse it. At the present moment, for example, low-class men are generally paid quite amply. So they have big salaries. But they are low class, but instead of using their money to cultivate knowledge and advance in life, such low class men use their extra money for wine drinking and similar sinful activities. Prabhupada is saying so. So, as mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, Chatur Varnyam Maya Shrishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasha, there must be 4 divisions of human society according to the work and qualities of men. So, we are born in certain consciousness with certain. We can change our conditioning, our consciousness by Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada is saying according to one's conditioning, one should be divided into the 4 classes. Men with lowest qualities cannot do any work that requires higher intelligence. Of course, this may sound a little bit like discriminatory that, okay, there are men with higher consciousness and men with lower, but that is true. And everything is not the same. I mean, we are all spirit souls, but our consciousnesses are different according to our past conditioning. And we can also change our consciousness. If we want, we can change from lower consciousness to higher consciousness. By suitable association and training, one can elevate. But there is like people who are addicted to drugs, and I mean, they may have been misguided. I mean, I understand that there is people don't know, and so there is more. What you can say, it is more for us to preach Krishna consciousness. It is more incentive for us to preach Krishna consciousness. So men with lowest qualities cannot do any work that requires higher intelligence. However, although such a division of men must exist according to their quality and work, it is suggested herewith that everyone must have the necessities of life. So everybody, even if they are lower, like Krishna is maintaining all of us. Even though we have turned against Krishna, right? We may be doing sinful activities, but Krishna is maintaining us in this material world, which is the prison. Like government maintains even criminals who have committed murder, they have raped others. But in jail, they are maintained by the government. So similarly, Krishna is also maintaining all of us who are all in one sense criminals for having come to this material world, having turned away from Krishna. But Krishna is so kind, he is maintaining. Like in Govardhan Leela, Krishna said, yes, everybody should be fed sumptuous prasadam, even the outcasts, the dog eaters, everybody. After offering it to Govardhan, when we get prasad, everybody should be fed sumptuously. So, and if everybody takes prasadam, then the consciousness will change. So this is the best way to spread Krishna consciousness, is to uh, distribute prasadam. That's why Prabhupada was very insisting on anybody who is visiting temples should get prasadam, even if it may be little bit, but prasadam changes consciousness. So the communists of the present day are in favor of supplying the necessities of life to everyone, but they consider only the human beings and not the lower animals. So Bhagavatam's principles are so broad, however, that it recommends that necessities of life be supplied to everyone, man or animal, regardless of good or bad qualities. But there are so many living entities. There are so many birds and so many raccoon and rats and so many things. How can we supply food to everybody? But Krishna is supplying, of course, in the jungles, how elephants are eating and everybody is getting. But according to our surroundings, whoever is there in our vicinity, all the animals, then they should be fed. So many devotees, they put like grains out for the birds to eat, or some whatever they can do to feed others. So Bhagavatam is not only concerned with humanity, but also concerned with, so broad, Prabhupada is saying, however, that it recommends that the necessities of life be supplied to everyone, man or animal, regardless of good or bad qualities. Okay. The idea of giving even one's wife to the service of the public is that one's intimate relationship with his wife, or one's excessive attachment for his wife, by which one thinks his wife to be his better half or to be identical with himself, must gradually be given up. Like in English, we say, it's my better half. So this kind of me and mine consciousness should be given up, because everybody belongs to Krishna. Ultimately, everybody belongs to Krishna. So, own man, these are my own men. Own man conception, Prabhupada says, is one of the greatest barrier for seeing everybody as equal, right? So, in the Varnashram, the last stage is sannyas, where one gives up all the attachment to all the family and considers the whole world. Sannyas means you consider the whole world as your family. So, as formally suggested, the idea of ownership, even of one's family, must be abandoned. The dream of material life is the cause of bondage in the cycle of birth and death, and therefore one should give up this dream. So in this dream, we are thinking, these are my people, and this is my nation, and all this. This is kind of a dream based on the body. Consequently, in the human form of life, one's attachment for his wife should be given up, as suggested herein. Okay, so that we are ready to go back to God.
Prabhu, can you go back to that? What's that first,
Which one?
the second paragraph, the first sentence?
Second paragraph. The idea of
Yeah.
giving this one.
Yeah, can you explain that first sentence a little better?
Giving
The
one's
idea.
life to the service of public is that one's intimate
Ye-
relationship with his wife.
Yeah.
One's excessive attachment for his wife, by which one thinks his wife to be his better half, or there must gradually be given. So, in the sense that, yeah, my family is very dear to me, but I should I should sacrifice also. Not always that they are serving me, but they should also serve others. I think that is what Prabhupada is saying.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not like only for me.
Yeah.
And for wife, the husband, and husband, the wife. So both ways you can read it. And my children. So they should also be engaged in the service of other people.
Okay.
So
And is this dependent on the where you are in life? Are there ways to accomplish this in Grihastha life, and it looks different in Vanaprastha, or it looks different?
Yeah, idea is to give up slowly the thing that, oh, these are all mine, me and mine conception that, okay, no, they also should be like some devotees come to my house, right? So then husband and wife should serve the devotees, or anybody, any guest comes or something like that, then we should use whatever resources we have. Whatever is dear to us should be used in the service of the Lord. So wife may be dear, husband may be dear, money may be dear. So, but we should use that money for the underlying theme is that, yeah, whatever is very dear to us should also be not used only for our own family, but also for the welfare of other people. Like a lot of you were sacrificed your money for Bhagavatams, right? To give Bhagavatam to other people who may not have money and they will get the scripture. So we should think about broader view. We should have a broad view of not just a narrow-minded view of me and my family, and we should think of others, everybody, and everybody is part and parcel of Krishna.
Okay, thank
So
you.
that's what I think this, which is good, right? It's good consciousness. But of course, we have to take care of our family, because who will take care of our children? So that's not
Yeah.
like neglect our children and then, yeah.
Yeah, basically, yeah, the wife is not just meant for my service, but is meant for the service of everybody. Means she engages in serving the sadhus, making prasadam for them, or inviting them for home programs, book distribution, like allowing your wife to be engaged in service of Krishna and devotees.
Correct.
Not having authority, like you do this for me and that, but
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, that possessiveness, right? It's mine, right? Me and mine. So, but no, everybody belongs to Krishna. Vasudeva Kutumbikam. That is there. That so for my family, I may do some, I may cheat others or do something to enhance my family's comforts and other things. But I don't care about others. So that is also not good, right? If others are getting hurt, but my family should be happy. That's kind of, no, that kind of mentality should be not there. Everybody is Krishna's child. And of course, you may have affection for your own child more than other children, but they are also Krishna's children. So there's a little to think about bigger. Uh, and not only humans, even animals, they are also part and parcel of Krishna. This dog, okay, by its karma, it got the body of a dog, but he's also spirit soul. And he's also as dear to Krishna, right? Every spirit soul is dear to Krishna. So that way we can remove the selfishness, right? The selfishness in which one thinks in terms of me and mine. It is can be removed. And slowly, as Prabhupada says here, you start to you can sacrifice your small family for the good of the larger family, which is the whole world. Prabhupada said sometimes I gave up my, wife, um, but now I have so many children and so many without, yeah, the botheration. I have so many children now. So,
that was also to you can sacrifice your family to save the village. You can sacrifice the village to save the country. You can sacrifice the earth to save the soul. Online, that's what it says. For a higher purpose, Vasudeva Kutumbakam, the whole world is my family. That's a sannyasi consciousness.
so Prabhupada said, let's see, what is this Leela? Trivikram Swami. Sometimes in 1969, I asked Srila Prabhupada whether he thought I should remain a brahmachari or get married. Prabhupada said it doesn't matter. You can be Krishna conscious in any ashram. The main thing is to be Krishna conscious. I accepted that. One day after that, Prabhupada was lecturing about the time he took sannyas and how he was thinking, how I can leave my wife and children. But somehow my spiritual master came to me in my dream and my god brother was pushing me. So I took sannyas. Now I have so many children and without the botheration of a wife. The next day when I was massaging him, I said, Srila Prabhupada, yesterday in your lecture, you said that wife was botheration. Prabhupada looked at me and smiled and said, I said that? He was always non-committal with me until he asked me to take sannyas a couple of years later. He saw I was a little older, but he wouldn't have objected if I wanted to remain a brahmachari or get married or take sannyas. It was like that. Okay. So, of course, wife or husband can be botheration for wife, or wife can be botheration for husband. Either way. So, it's very difficult in Kali Yuga to have like very harmonious relationships, congenial relationships, because everybody has big false ego and everybody thinks they are right. So that's why. Okay, but somehow or other we have to tolerate, right? So you have to tolerate even in devotee association, you have to tolerate for a higher purpose. So Prabhupada knew about this, that devotees may not be able to get along. And so he said, your love for me will be shown by how you cooperate to serve. Okay, so that's a big thing. Austerity in Kali Yuga is to cooperate. Because we all come with different conditionings and it's difficult. Okay, so the next verse. Anything else? Jayadyadarte swan pranan anyadvat pitaram gurum tasyam swatvam striyam jayad yastena yajito jitaha. One so seriously considers one's wife to be his own that he sometimes kills himself for her. Or kills others, including even his parents or his spiritual master or teacher. Therefore, if one can give up his attachment to such a wife, he conquers the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is never conquered by anyone. So there are many murders that have happened because of so many things, attachments in this world. Even every husband is too much attached to his wife. Therefore, to give up one's connection with his wife is extremely difficult. But if one can somehow or other give it up for the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then the Lord himself, although not able to be conquered by anyone, comes very much under the control of the devotee. So the Lord says, oh, you sacrifice so much to serve me? Okay, I will become your servant. Now you may say that may be a little bit harsh, right? I mean, or why would the Lord want us to do such a thing, to give up all attachments and serve him? Shouldn't we be taking care of others? Yeah, but the thing is that when you're grown up, idea is that now children are grown up so they can take care of the family. And so now you take sannyas kind of thing. So one who takes, this is all about sannyas life, although it's just ideal family life. But even in family life, one becomes very attached to his spouse. But if one can somehow or other give it up for the service of the Supreme Personality of God, then the Lord himself, although not able to be conquered by anyone, comes very much under the control of the devotee. Because you have given up something that is very dear to you for the service of the Lord. And if the Lord is pleased with a devotee, what is there that is unobtainable? Why should not one give up his affection for his wife and children and take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Prabhupada is writing from a deep sense of renunciation, right? Why should not we give up anything? We can give up anything for Krishna, and we cannot give up Krishna for anything. So, Krishna's service. Of course, they may be devotees also, right? Wife and children, they may be devotees. And but there is still a kind of attachment on the bodily platform. So at the time of death, one may be thinking, what will happen? What I have to leave my wife, and I have to leave my husband, and all my children I have to leave. So those thoughts may be in our mind, and we may be attached. So before death comes, one has to like completely be renounced. So that is the idea, that you're not attached to anything in this world, and you're ready to go. You're ready to pack your bags and go, right? They say like, so detachment. This is all about detachment. And of course, one should not renounce prematurely. If one is not in that state, one should not renounce. But internally, one can be detached also. It requires a lot of, like we say, jnana yoga. Jnana yoga means one is completely convinced on the intellectual platform. And so he has no duties to perform. Krishna says like that for somebody who is very self-realized, and but he still does his duty just to set an example. But those who are completely convinced about the futility of material life and everything else, and the goal is to go back home, back to Godhead, then they are very like detached from everything. So why should not one give up his affection for his wife and children and take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Where is the loss of anything material? Householder life means attachment for one's wife, whereas sannyas means detachment from one's wife and attachment to Krishna. Okay, so, but they are also part and parcel of Krishna. So we should be kind to everybody. Everybody is part and parcel of Krishna. But we should not be attached on the bodily platform or, yeah. And Krishna will take care of everyone. Krishna is taking care of everyone. Sometimes we think after I die, then who will take care of this and that? Well, Krishna is taking care of everybody. So this may sound a little bit.
And we think we have the power to take care of somebody. You two are helpless.
Yeah. But if somebody is under our care, then we also use our, like if child is under my care, then I have to provide for the needs of the child. I cannot be irresponsible.
Yeah, but that also, all the abilities are coming from Krishna.
Yes.
All the energy to do anything. So
But I
that
can be
should also.
lazy. I can be lazy and not do work, right? And say, okay, I have my child, but I don't want to take care. I can be
No, but
not.
it has to be done in a proper mode that Krishna, I cannot take care of anybody. You please help me.
Internally, we should know Krishna is taking care of everybody, but we have to do what we have to do also. Because like our job, right? We don't say, oh, Krishna will take care of my job. And I
Yeah,
don't work.
because these
I don't
children
work.
are not my children. Krishna has placed them in my shelter. I have to, these are devotees of Krishna, children of Krishna.
So I have to work hard to make them Krishna conscious. I have to do whatever it takes to make them Krishna, my duty to make them Krishna conscious. So to give a facility or environment, so we cannot shirk our responsibility um, like that prematurely, right? So like when we have job, then somebody says, okay, something is not right and your job is at stake. So you have to do whatever is necessary, right? Then you are very careful and you are doing. Of course, the abilities come from Krishna, but we have to have that desire and that uh, motivation to do. Like a student will have to study for the exam. He has to do everything intelligently to study, attend the classes and everything. And he depends on Krishna. So, like we say, pray as if everything depends on the Lord, work as if everything depends on you. So, we have to take care of everything. But it is not possible without Krishna's help. But we should have that thing. Uh, and we try our best, and things will not work out exactly as we want. That is also there. We may not work out. So, we may try our best. Still, our children may not become devotees. Or yeah, still they may go out of control. But have we tried our best? That is also another thing we have to consider. Like we are chanting, right? Then are we trying our best when we are chanting? Yes, Krishna will help, but God helps those who help themselves. Prabhupada writes that. So we have to put our best foot forward, our best effort. Like I was thinking, every mantra is a 911 call to Krishna. Actually, that's how we should, as if our life depends upon it. Like you have heard some 911 calls, like people are calling 911. And it is in a very desperate stage they are calling, right? Oh, there's a burglar in my house, or this is happening. And um, like there is so many 911 calls came when this 9/11 happened, right? There were so many 911 calls. So when we chant, it's a very desperate call, as Prabhupada says, a baby crying for mother. So every mantra should be like a desperate call to Krishna. Krishna. They say you can make spiritual advancement. When there was a guru, he said, how can we make spiritual advancement? Disciple is asking. So the guru dumped the disciple in water and he was gasping for breath because he was drowning. And then he pulled him out. And then at that time, that disciple was like, I need air. I need so much air. I'm so much drowning. And he said, Guru Maharaj, what is this? What are you doing? He said, when you have this kind of, how much need you have for air when you were under the water, when you came out, how much need you have for air, how much you were desperate to get air. So when you have that kind of desperateness, then you can make spiritual progress, right? Something like that. So let's imagine you are standing on a cliff. And if you don't chant the Maha Mantra nicely, they are going to push you off the cliff. So, and how you chant is coming on the screen up on the, it is telling, let's say there is some way to measure how nicely you're chanting. So if you're not chanting nicely, then they're going to push you off the cliff and you're going down down into the valley on the rocks and you're going to be smashed. So how will you chant at that time if somebody says if any mantra you don't chant nicely will push you off the cliff? Then you are like in a desperate situation. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Because your life is going to go. So death is coming, death is coming. That's how they say. Yesterday we were also talking about this. That it is coming close. So now let me take shelter. Let me take shelter of Krishna. Another way to think is that, Toyota manufactures so many cars and every car is quality certified. You have that stamp on the dashboard or on the windows, right? That it's quality certified, quality inspected. So every mantra that we chant should be quality inspected, right? And if it is not proper, then don't go to the next mantra. Chant that mantra. So if the car has problems, Toyota is not going to release it in the market. They are going to take it back inside and fix the car. So similarly, when we chant mantra, every mantra, if you didn't chant nicely, don't go to the next mantra. Make an assessment. Did you chant with love and devotion or like that? If you don't, then don't go to the next mantra. Don't release the car if it is not quality. So don't count the mantra. Like Mahatma Prabhu says, there is no bad round. There is no bad mantra. I chant. Or there's no bad chanting. Everything that you chant should be very nice. Just like when Toyota releases its cars in the market, every car should be quality inspected. And if it is not, then of course it's difficult. But if we have that kind of determination, then we'll say, okay, I'll be stuck on one bead only if I'm not chanting nice. So let me chant nicely. I have to finish my 16 rounds. I have to chant nicely. Otherwise, I will not be allowed to move to the next beat. So we can think something like that. I mean, because ultimately we have to improve our chanting ourselves. So whatever works for in whatever way for anyone, we can think. And this is a technique. Bhurijan Prabhu also says, take one mantra at a time and chant that mantra very nicely, as if your life depends upon it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Pronouncing every word nicely and hearing it, and in a mood of love and devotion. So then all our rounds will be nicely done. So it's all about determination and all these things. So, okay, so the next verse. Any comments on this verse?
I
So,
have shifted two verses from Lakshmi Devi, where she is saying that Krishna, you are the only husband, because husband means protector. And people
you
of
can
this
read the
world
translation. You can read the translation.
can't even protect themselves. So what to think about protecting others? My dear Lord, you are certainly the fully independent master of all the senses. Therefore, all women who worship you by strictly observing vows because they wish to acquire a husband to satisfy their senses are surely under illusion. They do not know that such a husband cannot actually give protection to them or their children, nor can he protect their wealth or duration of life, for he himself is dependent on time, fruitive results, and modes of nature, which are all subordinate to you. He alone, who is never afraid, but who, on the contrary, gives complete shelter to all fearful persons, can actually become a husband and protector. Therefore, my Lord, you are the only husband, and no one else can claim this position. If you were not the only husband, you would be afraid of others. Therefore, persons learned in all Vedic literature accept only your lordship as everyone's master, and they think no one else a better husband and protector than you.
And who is speaking this verse?
Lakshmi Devi.
Lakshmi. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we are ourselves are in need of help. So how can we really help? Of course, the pure devotees, they are representatives of Krishna, so they can help because they are unbound. They are not bound by the modes of bound person cannot help another bound person. But the pure devotees, they can help, right? Because they are not bound by the modes of material nature. And if they tell Krishna something, then Krishna has to oblige, right? Them, because that's why Krishna says, Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Oh Arjuna, you declare it boldly that my devotee will never perish. Because if the devotee says something, Narad Muni said, yes, Krishna will come and deliver you. Nala Kuber and Manigriva, they were two sons of Kuber who were, Krishna will come and deliver you. So Krishna is the property of his pure devotees. So if a pure devotee says something, then so we have access to pure devotees, and um, of course we cannot know who's really, but
Pure devotees ask us to take shelter of Krishna. That
yes.
please chant the name of Krishna. Only the holy name of Krishna can protect you.
Yeah, either you take shelter of Krishna, I mean, you take shelter of a pure devotee first, and through the pure devotee, you get the shelter of Krishna. So, if you please the pure devotee, yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado, yasya prasada nagati kutopi. So that is the pure devotees. If they are pleased, then Krishna is pleased, and if the pure devotee is displeased, then Krishna is not pleased. So that's what we say. And of course, pleasing the pure devotee means taking shelter of their instructions, what they are telling you. Because surrender, I can feel I am surrendered to Krishna, but who will gauge my surrender, whether I am really surrendered? But pure devotees, yeah, they can give you, they can tell you that are you surrendered or you're not surrendered, or when they give instructions, then they can say, they can chastise you, they can destroy your false ego. So, of course, the devotee has to be completely pure devotee. And then you can know actually whether you are surrendering or not. Because, of course, one way to say is that, okay, I'm following the instructions, but then there are subtleties of surrender. Like Prabhupada would tell his disciples, now you go to Pakistan. Now, Brahmananda Prabhu, he went to Pakistan. Prabhupada's spiritual master told him, you go to the West and preach, and you take sannyas. So that is surrender, right? If the pure devotee tells something and you do that, that is surrender. So Yeah, so that is why there is devotee, pure devotee between us and Krishna. And in the spiritual world also, everybody serves under a certain, like there's a group leader, like Rupa Manjari is the group head, and then you may be serving Krishna, but under the direction of Rupa Manjari. So we have our parampara and all these great acharyas like Prabhupada. So when we take shelter of them, then that is taking shelter of Krishna also. And of course, anybody can take shelter of Krishna also directly, because that is there. But Krishna way it is made that we have to go through the pure devotees. Krishna says, Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya updikshati de jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. So many times Prabhupada would destroy the false ego of the person, because they may be thinking that they are doing the very good thing, but Prabhupada would say, no, this is not the way. And then their whole thing would be. So, yeah, that surrender has to be there. Of course, Prabhupada said, don't surrender your intelligence. Surrender with your intelligence, but don't surrender your intelligence. So, that is also there. So, one way to surrender is to accept the instructions and follow. And the pure devotee will not give any instruction which is different from Krishna. I asked this Giriraj Maharaj one time when he was here. He was giving a class. I asked that, well, the pure devotee will not give any instruction which is different from Krishna's instruction. So if you are surrendering to Krishna's instruction, then why is there need? Like, I mean, it's the same, right? Whatever the pure devotee says. And I don't remember what he said, but I had asked this question to Giriraj Maharaj when he came. Okay, we can review that. There is a lecture that was recorded.
And devotee only tells us about Krishna's instructions. And he engages us in service of Krishna. So somebody has to give us service, right? You do like this, you do that. And we try
And
to
correct us
please.
also. And correct us also, because they say between the book Bhagavat and the person Bhagavat is more potent because he can pull you by the ear. The book Bhagavat may not pull you by the ear, or it's not possible. Yeah, Krishna will not come, but Krishna comes through his pure devotees and they will correct you when you're going wrong. So in that sense, the person Bhagavat is even more important than the book Bhagavat. And you get everything that is in the book Bhagavat from the person Bhagavat, because he has realized the conclusion, he or she has realized the conclusion of the scriptures. And because when we read the book, there are so many, it's vast, like Bhagavatam is vast, and we don't exactly know how to apply sometimes the principles. So the person Bhagavat can tell us. But then Guru means one who knows you, one who loves you, and one who can help you because he's more spiritually advanced. So he should know you. He should know exactly the nature of the disciple, and according to that, give advice, because he knows the nature and he loves you. And then he is spiritually advanced, so he can help you. So that is the path. I mean, that's why Prabhupada always talks about the spiritual master in his purports. Okay, so next verse. So Jayadyadarte swan pranan hanyadva pitaram gurum tasyam svatvam striyam jayad yaste nahi ajito jitaha. I think we read this. Yeah, we read that. Next verse. Krimi vid bhashma nishthantam vedam tucham kalevaram kvatadyaratir bharya kvayam atma nabhaschadi. Though through proper deliberation, one should give up attraction to his wife's body, because that body will ultimately be transformed into small insects, stool, or ashes. What is the value of this insignificant body? How much greater is the Supreme Being who is all pervading like the sky? Okay, this is a very strong verse. because everybody's body will ultimately become ashes if it's burnt or it is thrown to the vultures. The body is thrown to vultures in some tradition because the vultures also will get their food. Dead body is a food for the vultures, and they will digest your body or our body, and then they will pass it out as stool. So your body has transformed into stool or into the flesh of vultures, right? They have also some muscle and things in their body. So our body becomes their muscle, and or into small insects. Like if it is buried, then the worms will eat the, and then so in this body's last, what is the destination of this body? It transforms into all these things. So here also the same point is stressed. One should give up attachment for his wife, or in other words, for sex life. So if one is intelligent, so sometimes we may say, well, I'm attached to my wife, but it is not for, we don't have any bodily relationship. Yes. So at some point in life, when you don't want any more children, then there is no relationship with the wife. Only for the purpose of procreation, you have children and that's it. And then after that, you don't have any more relationship on the bodily platform. If one is intelligent, he can think of his wife's body as nothing but a lump of matter that will ultimately be transformed into small insects, stool, or ashes. Not wife's body also, my body also will be like that. In different societies, there are different ways of dealing with the human body at the time of the funeral ceremony. In some societies, the body is given to vultures to be eaten, and therefore the body ultimately turns to vulture stool. Sometimes the body is merely abandoned, and in that case, the body is consumed by small insects. In some societies, the body is immediately burned after death, or they give for medical research, right? Some people sacrifice their body. Okay, you can cut my body and you can do all the dissection, and look at all the organs in the body. In some societies, the body is immediately burned after death, and thus it becomes ashes. In any case, if one is intelligently considers the constitution of the body and the soul beyond it, what is the value of the body? Antavanta ime deha nitya shokta sharirina. The body may perish at any moment, but the soul is eternal. If one gives up attachment for the body and increases attachment for the spirit soul, his life is successful. It is merely a matter of deliberation. So body is important. We take care of the body because it is a tool by which we serve. But eventually every body has to be given up, and this is the final destination of the body. So one should not be attached to the body for sense enjoyment. That's basically what it is. But you should use your body. The body is a bad bargain, but it can be used in such a way that we don't get any. Body can be used to get more bodies, or body can be used to get free from accepting other bodies, more bodies in the future. So if you use your body in service of Krishna, then you will not get any other material body next life. So body is neither good or bad, it's how you use it, right? If it's used in service of Krishna, it's good. If it's used in sense gratification, it's bad. And it will give you more bodies. And then every body is there is suffering that comes with the body. As Prahlad Maharaj says, Kutra Shisha Shruti Shukha Migratrishni Rupa Kvedam Kalevaram Ashesha Rucham Viroha Nirvidyate Natu Jano Yadapiti Vidvan Kamanalam Madhulavai Shamayan. What is the last word? Kamanalam Durapai. Yes. So he says, where is the happiness? It is nice, all these things are nice. It's nice to hear Shruti Shukha Mrigatrishni Rupa. It's like a mirage to think there is something. But this body is a source of various diseases. And how many ways the body can give us trouble. Yeah, like when we get diseases like cancer and so much trouble this body can give us. And there is some enjoyment while the body is healthy, but you can get to eat nice, but once you get disease, then and there are so many kinds of diseases that you can get. So one should not be very attached to this body for sense gratification. So that is the but one should take care of the soul. What profiteth the man if he suffers from the loss of his soul? What is that? What profiteth the man if he gains the whole world but loses his soul? Like in Christianity, they say like that. So we should take care of the soul, as Prabhupada says. Increases attachment for the spirit soul. His life is successful. It is merely a matter of deliberation. So to consider deliberation means to consider very deeply, thoughtfully, contemplate on it. And then, so our mind is identifying us with our body. And our mind is the cause of entanglement or the cause of liberation. So we have to be very strong on this path of bhakti, very strong-minded and very determined, right? So as much determination we can muster, we should do in devotional service and for serving Krishna. Because I am determined to get out of this material situation. It may be material motivation, you may say, well, yeah, it's material, but that is also good. Because if you don't know the problems of birth, death, old age, disease, then you will stay in this world. Okay, so it's 8 o'clock. We are going to stop here. Anybody has any other comments? Share. Okay. Anything else?
I can share.
Yeah.
I'm starting a new book today. Starting to read on Govardhan. So this book will cover major places. If you go to Govardhan Parikrama, then all the major places that come in Govardhan Parikrama and what are the difference. So Indradumna Maharaj takes a lot of his devotees every year on retreat in Vrindavan to do this parikrama. So he's writing.
What is the book name, Mataji? Sorry.
This book is called Govardhan. Let me see. Yeah, just Govardhan.
Govardhan. I have many books from Indradumna Maharaj, so I ordered some. So if anybody here in Columbus or outside they want, you can give them. There's Govardhan book, Radha book. Then there are two more books, right? The forests on the western bank of Yamuna and the eastern bank, right? Krishna's pastimes. So, okay, so there are 4 books.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. So it is said that the spiritual master is the revealer of the Dham. So it is most important and most appropriate to begin our parikrama offering our full obeisances to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada has not only enlightened us through his books and his lectures about the glories of Vrindavan, but he has also personally invited devotees and non-devotees to the Dham in the real sense. So we thank Srila Prabhupada. So before Srila Prabhupada, Vrindavan was not that famous. Prabhupada made it very famous. Building temple and yeah, so many devotees started coming, Westerners also. So we thank Srila Prabhupada. We know that he never left his this transcendental abode to go to the west and live in the Bowery. We would never be here. If he would not have left this transcendental abode to go to the west and live in the Bowery, we would never be here. So we have to remember him constantly throughout our parikrama. Prabhupada was so attached to Vrindavan. Yeah, when we say that you can take a sadhu out of Vrindavan, but you cannot take Vrindavan out of the sadhu. So Prabhupada carried Vrindavan in his heart, and wherever he traveled, he turned all those places into Vrindavan. Vrindavan means where there is Tulsi Maharani, there is devotees chanting the holy name. That's where Vrindavan is. So it is said that one cannot actually come to Vrindavan by car, airplane, or by train. One actually enters into Vrindavan with purified consciousness. This is a very confidential place. This is a place where the Lord carried out his most confidential pastimes. You cannot just walk in with your material desires and disturb the transcendental atmosphere. So, Vrindavan is in the consciousness. So, wherever you are, you can be in Vrindavan if you are pure in your heart. But if you have material desires, where we consider ourselves as the enjoyer and the center, then we cannot enter into Krishna's pastimes, where Krishna is the only enjoyer, the only Purusha. So Krishna doesn't let you enter that atmosphere because that you will disturb others who are in pure consciousness. So we cannot just walk into those pastimes to disturb that transcendental atmosphere. Of course, the residents of Vrindavan are very kind. They want to encourage us. So even though we have those desires, they think, all right, let them in, as long as they are good and they do not make offenses. So Dham is really good. It can boost your spiritual life, but also we have to be careful to not commit offenses because it also multiplies the offenses. Actually, you cannot come here unless you receive the grace of 5 personalities who guard this Dham. And we will be speaking about these personalities and how to attain their mercy. After all, we do not just want to be in Vrindavan physically, we want to have the proper mood while we are here to receive the real benefit. And that comes by the grace of 5 persons: Lord Shiva, Yamuna River, Govardhan Hill, Vrinda Devi, and Mother Purnamashi. Of course, we have read about others as well: Lalita Devi, Vrajraj. What else? So there is Gopeshwar Mahadev, Lord Shiva, Yamuna River.
Srila Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada. Yeah. Guru Parampara. I cannot do this myself. I cannot enter into Vrindavan Dham. I need mercy. So we are always praying Vandanam, praying to Shiva, praying to Yamuna Devi, praying to Giriraj. Let me enter into the mood of Vrindavan. Help me rid myself of these nasty material desires. I cannot see anything. Open my eyes, please. So we have to be constantly praying. If we want to reside in Vrindavan, that is also not just Bhaum of Vrindavan, but ultimately reside in Vrindavan with Radha and Krishna, we have to be praying constantly. Please accept me. Please remove all material desires from the core of my heart. Like that prayer is there. Nij nikata nivasa dehi govardhanatvam. O Govardhan Hill, please let me reside near you. In the 1970s, Srila Prabhupada stated one time at a Mayapur festival that he wanted all his disciples to come every year to Mayapur Vrindavan festivals. Of course, the ISKCON managers freaked out and they questioned that decision with Srila Prabhupada in a meeting that evening. They said, Prabhupada, you didn't mean all of your disciples should come every year? Prabhupada said, yes, I did. I said that. And why did Prabhupada say that? Because Srila Prabhupada is always interested in our spiritual progress, our progress from Shraddha to Prem. And he knew very well, as stated in the scriptures, that there are 5 particular activities in Bhakti Yoga or devotional service which guarantee one very swift advancement on the path. That is Sadhu Sangha Nam Kirtan Bhagavat Shravan Mathura Vasa Shri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevan. Sadhu Sangha, the association of devotees. Nam Kirtan, Hare Krishna mantra. Bhagavat Shravan, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Mathura Vas, visiting the holy places, Vrindavan, Mayapur Dham, Jagannath Puri. And Shri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevan, worshipping the deity. These are 5 critical items on the path of bhakti. So Srila Prabhupada immortalized that desire or that instruction in one of his Bhakti Vedanta purports. No one can contest it. If your temple president says you cannot come, you may show him the following purport. 5th canto, 13th chapter, 8th verse, Prabhupada writes, one must go to Vrindavan forest and take shelter of Govinda. That will make one happy. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness is therefore constructing a Krishna Balram temple to invite its members as well as outsiders to come and live peacefully in a spiritual atmosphere. That will help one become elevated to the transcendental world and return home back to Godhead. So, yeah, we should desire that every year we can do a Dham Yatra and stay in the dham and chant there. Also, whatever bhakti you do, whatever chanting you do, it multiplied 1,000 times when somebody is in the dham, and automatic progress happens. But also, visiting the dham means seeing the pure devotees who are staying there and hearing from them, and doing seva in the dham and all devotional service. It's like a retreat in the sense that you don't have to think about your daily affairs, your office work, your housework. Full days you spend from morning to night going from Mangal Aarti and Bhagavatam class and doing service all day long, sitting in lectures and throughout the day. You're spending few weeks every day in service of Krishna. So there is the invitation. In that illustrious purport, Prabhupada refers to a transcendental abode. Although we cannot see it, although we cannot even imagine that there is a transcendental abode, there is a positive alternative to this dukhalyama shashvatam, to this miserable and temporary existence. And Prabhupada concludes that that transcendental abode, far beyond this material world, that should be the destination of every intelligent man and woman. Yeah, Prabhupada was so much attached to Vrindavan. Whenever he would fall sick, he would say, "Take me back to Vrindavan. So if I die, let me die in Vrindavan." By the influence of time, everything and everyone is deteriorating. So we should aspire for the abode which is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. Like I was saying, that we need detachment from this material world, but we also need attachment to the spiritual world. We should know what is happening in the spiritual world. Why should we? That is our goal, that is our destination. Whatever we are thinking at the time of death, that's where we will go. So we should be so much attached to Vrindavan and hearing about Vrindavan every single day that that's where we go at the time of death. Or more poetically, the world where every word is a song, every step is a dance, and there is a festival every day. In the Bhagavad Gita, which is the ABC of spiritual life, Krishna gives us an honor devotee to get us hankering to get out of the material world and go home, because there is no place like home. We will be traveling all over the world, but ultimately we become tired and we say, "I want to go home, I want to relax, I want to be with my parents," or something like that. So our home is Vrindavan Dham, and we are travelers here in this place, and we are suffering. And yeah, so we need to have an intense desire. I want to go back home. So Krishna enlightens us a little bit about the transcendental abode to get our appetite going for going back home. He said, "Parastasmat tu bhavo anyo vyakto vyakta sanatana yasa sarveshu bhuteshu nashyatsu na vinashyati." Yet there is another unmanifest nature which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all of this in the world is annihilated, that part remains as it is. It is like when you want to go on vacation and you are reading a travel journal and looking at all the different opportunities. By hearing a description of that particular place, then you choose, "Oh, I don't want to go there. Oh, I want to go there." So, here in the Gita is a description of where everyone should want to go. Krishna gives more details about that transcendental abode. He says that abode of mine is not illumined by the sun or the moon or electricity. One who reaches it never returns to this material world. So, this is the Gita, but the PhD study of the science of self realization is Srimad Bhagavatam. And there we learn even more details about that transcendental abode. So, we become ravishly hungry to go there. And from the Brahma Samhita, चिन्तामणि प्रकरसद्मशुकल्पवृक्षा लक्षावृतेषु सुरभिरभिपालयन्तं लक्ष्मीसहस्रशतसम्भ्रमसेव्यमानं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तम् अहं भजामि. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor who is tending the cows, yielding all desire, in abodes built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purpose trees, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis. This is one is describing the Golok Vrindavan, where there's so So that is called Golok because it's a land of cows, and every dirt is like spiritual gems there, and there are these kalpa vriksha trees. So Patri Prabhu was saying that these kalpa vriksha trees can give you anything and everything, but nobody is asking them for anything because nobody desires anything there. Everybody desires just happiness of Krishna. Even if the trees can give them anything, any item they like to eat, but still the gopis are putting so much hard work in cooking themselves for Krishna. We see Radharani and gopis are going every day to Nanda Bhavan to cook so many items, 100 items for Krishna. They are sitting on the chulhas next to the fire, and they're working really hard. So they could have asked the trees, but they want to do it themselves for Krishna. Nobody has any desires to ask from these trees. This gives a description of the essence of that spiritual world, the most adorable and the most lovable person, Bhagwan Sri Krishna, whom everyone in the spiritual world loves more than anyone has ever been loved before. Venum Kwavantam Aravindadalayataksham Varahavatam Shamasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tam Aham Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is adept in playing on his flute, with blooming eyes like lotus petals, with head decked with peacock feather, with a figure of beauty tinged with the hue of blue clouds, and his unique loveliness charming millions of cupids. So this is the form of Krishna in the spiritual world. In Golok Vrindavan, he's playing on his flute. His eyes are like lotus petals, and he has a peacock feather on his turban, and his color is like that of body color is like that of blue clouds, and he's able to charm millions of cupids. So do not think that this is some type of imagination, some figment of someone's imagination, some poet's dream, some philosopher's attempt to understand things. No, these are real facts. This is authorized knowledge. These are real revelations. The spiritual world is not a fictional place, and the amazing thing is that to help us understand it and to experience and hanker for that world, Krishna brings that abode to this world of matter. It is like a beautiful ornament in this world of dead matter. How does Krishna describe this world we live in? Not in very glorious words, and we should accept what he says because he is most intelligent. Abrahma bhuvanar lokar punar avartino arjuna mama petyatu kante punarjanmana vidyate. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery, wherein repeated birth and death takes place. But one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. So wherever you go in this material world, all are places of misery. Whether it's Hawaii or Switzerland or any of the nice places, people are still suffering. They're going through old age, disease, and death over there as well. All places in the material world are places of misery, but one who goes to Krishna's abode had never had to take birth again. Srila Prabhupada asked one time, who would not accept such an invitation? So Krishna is inviting us, come back and live with me. So many verses in Bhagavad Gita is saying, you come with me so that you don't have to come back to this place of Dukhalayam. So Krishna comes to this world. This fact may not be so well understood in Western society. We hear about the sun or the prophet, but people are surprised to hear about Krishna coming. Oh, the absolute truth, the divine supreme personality of Godhead comes to earth. Does he choose Moscow, Sydney, New York? What is his preference? No, he does not choose any of these mundane places. He brings his own abode. Of course, the inside information is that it was not necessarily by Krishna's desire that his abode came here, but by the desire of his eternal loving consort and female counterpart, Vrindavaneshwari Srimati Radharani. This abode is here by her grace. So Radharani didn't want to come without Vrindavan, without Yamuna, without Govardhan. So that's why we have Vrindavan here, is because of Radharani's grace. Radha and Krishna are never separated. One of Radharani's name is Anapayini. Anapayini means she is never separated from Krishna. So when it was time for the Yuga avatar to come in the Dwapar Yuga, Krishna asked Radharani, are you going to come with me to the earth and help me to attract the fallen conditioned souls? Radha replied, I will come on the condition that three things come along with me. Actually, her words are recorded in Garga Samhita. She said, O dearly beloved, to be with you is the perfection of anyone's life. Yet, where there is no Vrindavan forest, where the Yamuna river does not flow, and where the shadow of Govardhan hill is absent, my heart cannot be happy. So the three things that Radharani says, I will come with you, but you have to bring your Vrindavan forest, your Yamuna river, and Govardhan with you. With a cheerful smile, Sri Krishna then called upon the divine realm of Vraj to fulfill Radharani's request. He immediately sent to the earth glorious Govardhan hill, the enchanting river Yamuna, and the 94-mile portion of Vrindavan Dham. Of course, as you look around, you see the sewers, the dogs, the pigs. You may think, what is Maharaj talking about? This does not look like the description he gave in his class. But that is not the Dham's fault. That is our fault because we do not have the eyes. We do not have the purity of the heart to see Vrindavan as it actually is. Srila Prabhupada said, yes, there is a thin film of illusion covering this dham to keep away the impersonalists, the gross materialists, people who would come and abuse this place. So, so the dham is not, there's pigs around, there's dogs, there's open sewers and garbage around. There's also extremely hot weather, extremely cold weather. All these are uh, all these are to keep away all the people who want to enjoy in this world. They would not come to Vrindavan. They say, what, Vrindavan is not a place to enjoy. Let's go to whatever, Hawaii or Goa or with the beaches. And so the gross materialists, they keep away, and the impersonalists also. So those who can do austerity also, it's a place of austerity. I can withstand this extremely hot, extremely cold weather to be with Krishna. Krishna also wants to see how much we want to sacrifice for him. But the glories of Vrindavan, the pastimes of Radha and Krishna and all of his devotees, their loving pastimes, actually they are taking place here right now. So Maharaj is also saying that in the current Vrindavan Dham, Radha Krishna pastimes are going on. This is called Aprakata Leela. There is the manifest Leela and there is the unmanifest Leela. So if you were fortunate to be here 5,000 years ago, you could see. Now you cannot see, it is unmanifest. But if you have spiritual eyes, you can see. One time Srila Prabhupada was sitting in Vrindavan in a part that was all dirty, giving a lecture about the beauty of Vrindavan. After speaking for some time, Prabhupada asked for questions, so one of my god brothers raised his hand. He said, Prabhupada, you are describing the beauty of Vrindavan like nothing we have ever seen. But when I look around, I just see pigs and sewers and poor people, dogs fighting. I don't see it like you see it. Prabhupada said, yes, that is because there is a little speck in your eye. Sometimes some dust blows and you get something in your eye. So that devotee literally took off his glasses and started rubbing his eyes. Prabhupada said, no, not like that. The speck in your eye is material desires. Lust, anger, greed, jealousy, and hatred. Only when these material desires are removed from the heart, when you have pure vision, will you see Vrindavan as it is. So there is a rust of lust and there is these anarthas covering our heart. That's why we are not able to see Krishna. So Prabhupada quoted the verse Cheto Darpan Marjanam, and the heart is cleansed by chanting of the Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The great mantra for deliverance. So when our vision is pure, what will we see? It is not a mystery. It is explained in scriptures. You will see yourself, not this body, because you are not this body. You will see the spirit soul. You will see yourself within the heart, and most importantly, you will see the supreme self. You will see the Lord, who is the object of every transcendentalist. So our visit here is centered around Prabhupada and his instructions, because he's the one who went to the west and invited us back into this amazing place. Prabhupada said that a sadhu sees with his ears, not with his eyes. So if we want to see and appreciate and love Vrindavan, we have to hear about Vrindavan. What better place to be educated about Krishna than in his own hometown, Vrindavan? And although we do not yet have genuine love for Krishna, this is the best place to attain it. Because this whole abode of Vrindavan is just permeated with prema for Krishna in different mellows or rasas. So Vrindavan Dham is Radharani's mercy. So Radharani's mercy is flowing in Vrindavan Dham. And she's ready to give her love for Krishna to anybody and everybody. I have always had a favorite passage from one of the Prabhupada's books that has helped me understand what is Vrindavan, and you may have heard it before. It is very simple but very profound. In Krishna book, Prabhupada writes, Vrindavan is such a nice place. Flowers always blooming, and there are even various kinds of decorated deer, birds are chirping, peacocks are crowing and dancing, and bees are humming. The cuckoos there sing nicely in 5 kinds of tunes. So, I mean, even if you go to New Vrindavan, there also we see that there are peacocks and the birds are chirping, and they have created a replica of Vrindavan. All of this to invoke the remembrance of Vrindavan, and wherever we are remembering Krishna, remembering Vrindavan means we are in Vrindavan because Vrindavan is in the consciousness. So we have this song. Vrindavana Ramya Sthana Divya Chintamani Dhama Ratana Mandira Manohara Abrita Kalindi Nire Rajahansa Kili Kare Tahe Shobhe Kanaka Kamala तारमध्ये हेमापीठा अष्टदाले बेष्टिता अष्टदाले प्रधान नायिका तारमध्ये रत्नासाने बसिया छे दुई जाने श्यामा संगे सुंदरी राधिका ओरूपाला बन्याराशी आमिया पारी छे खासी हास्या पारी हास्या संभासानी नरोत्तमा दासा कोए नित्य लीला शुकामोए सदाए स्फुरुक मोरा माने वृंदावन रम्या स्थान दिव्य चिंतामणि धाम रतन मंदिर मनोहार हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So beautiful Vrindavan is filled with Chintamani gems, and there are many jewel palaces and temples there. And regal swans are playing in the waters of the Yamuna. And in the waters of Yamuna, there is a splendid golden lotus flower that is blooming. In the middle of that lotus flower, there is a golden place, and there are which is surrounded by 8 petals. On these 8 petals are the Ashtasakis, the 8 gopis, Sakhis of Radharani, and in the center Lord Shamasundar and beautiful Srimati Radharani. They're sitting on a jewel throne. And the great beauty of this divine couple and the charming joking and laughter. There is joking and laughter going on in Vrindavan. It's continuously showering nectar everywhere. So Narottam Das says, I pray that these blissful, eternal, transcendental pastimes of the divine couple may always be manifest in my heart. So, thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
So every year there is a retreat by Burijan Prabhu and Sachinandan Maharaj, right? This year is there.
Even Indradumna Maharaj, Keshav Swami Maharaj, so many Maharajas are doing retreat at different times. Keshav Swami Maharaj's retreat is during the Kartik month. Indradumna Maharaj's retreat is parallel to Burijan Prabhu's retreat. I don't know where to get that information from. But he has other Polish people and other, I don't know if he speaks in English or some other language. But all the retreats come together at Kusum Sarovar. That's where this Radhika Das Prabhu from London is bringing people. He has his retreat. Indradumna Maharaj has his retreat. Burjan Prabhu Sachidanand Maharaj. We all came together. All these retreat people came together at Kusum Sarovar and did kirtans there.
So this year there is Burjan Prabhu's retreat or not?
It's there. I don't know if Burjan Prabhu would be there. The retreat is there. A back-to-back Holy Name retreat and Govardhan retreat.
Yeah. So it's best if somebody want to go for that retreat. That's nice. There you can hear in the association of devotees, and
Yeah.
that's the best thing. You can hear about Krishna in Krishna's abode. That's very wonderful, and from devotees who are very advanced.
Yeah. We hear about Govardhan sitting at the base of Govardhan.
Yeah. So whenever Radharani came, then she wanted Vrindavan, Govardhan, and Yamuna also to come. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, then also Radharani came. And who was that? When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, who was Radharani?
Gadadhar Pandit.
Gadadhar Pandit. Yeah, because Radharani wanted to see how Krishna would act as me. So she came. And Gadadhar Pandit actually never went to Vrindavan because he had taken vow. Of course, he was in Jagannath Puri, taken Kshetra Sannyas. So Prabhupada is saying, who wouldn't accept this? And in that thing we were reading, if there's such a nice place, we came to America, or everybody wants to come, some place which is nice, right? Because it is, there is so much promise of whatever opportunities and better life. And so if if you're told about the spiritual world and the song you sang, how wonderful it is and so nice, and everybody loves you there, right? There is no all this backbiting and envy and all this. Everybody loves you there, and Krishna loves you there so much. So who wouldn't want to go to such a place? Prabhupada says one should be captivated by this information and should be desirous of going to that place. In the Bhagavad Gita, he says.
Yeah. And also Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj says, we have chosen to come to this place. And what is the description of this place? It's like, going to Ukraine.
Yeah.
Anytime bomb can fall on you. And there is disaster, people crying all around you, suffering, they're dying. We chose to come to this place. I mean, what were we thinking? How?
And now we have been in this place so long that we really don't believe that there is a place. So why wouldn't somebody accept it? Because there's a lack of faith also sometimes for others. There is lack of faith that, okay, really such a place exists, but the fact that we want to be in such a place, we want this, so there must be some place like that where we can live happily ever after. So without any struggles and all these things. So there is a place. And sometimes we don't have faith, but we have to keep faith in Krishna's words and Prabhupada's words. So all the Acharya's words. And we want to go to such a place. So Prabhupada left Vrindavan so that we could, they say you can take a devotee out of Vrindavan, but you can't take.
That's what I was saying. You cannot take Vrindavan out of the devotee.
Yes. So yeah, so we all are now knowing the glories of Vrindavan because of Srila Prabhupada. And to enter Vrindavan, you have to have a service attitude. Service attitude will reveal the Dham. So, sir, what can I do to serve the devotees and everybody in the Dham? And what is that song? Araka benitai chandra karuna hoibe sansara vasana mura kabe tuchha have. विषया छाड़िया कबे शुद्ध हो बेमाना. Then, what is the next line?
Abe hum rabo Shri Vrindavan.
So, We go to Vrindavan to be purified, and also another thing is that more we are purified, then more we can appreciate Vrindavan. So, as Prabhupada was saying, otherwise we see all the dirt and everything because we have dust in our eyes. Yeah, so yeah, there are many devotees who are staying there in Vrindavan because they like it so much there. Okay, so we should plan to leave our body in Vrindavan at least. But anywhere you live, also, if you remember Krishna, that is also Vrindavan. Like Bhakti Tirth Maharaj left in Kita Nagari, but he was very Krishna conscious. So that is also there. But then also devotees go to Vrindavan. Prabhupada wanted to go to Vrindavan. So we attached to Vrindavan.
Ritu Maharaj also, when he became little fine, he was in a hospital in Delhi, right? He said, take me to Vrindavan.
Vrindavan. Yes.
That's where he left his body.
Yeah, so devotees want to go to Vrindavan to leave their bodies. Kadamba Kanand Maharaj. So anyway, whatever Krishna wants. So okay, so those are some thoughts that I had. Anything else anybody like to say? Okay, we'll read the False Ego book. Yeah. Bouncing backwards and forwards like a ping pong ball. Okay. The false
You
ego.
can't see your screen.
Oh, okay, let me share. The false ego acts like a ping pong ball, bouncing backwards and forwards from one heart to another. We may have encountered a situation when somebody approaches us in an agitated mood, accusing us of something. Immediately our false ego flares up because nobody likes their faults to be pointed out. Immediately our false ego flares up and we respond in an even more agitated frame of mind. Everything escalates and turns into an argument. This is how quarrel starts, right? Somebody says something we don't like, then our false ego flares up and we respond with even more agitation, and then that person may respond, and then there is a heated argument. We may even think, hey, what happened to me? I'm not usually in such an agitated mood and don't typically respond like this. Some triggers are there, right? That triggers will like you, agitate you. Everybody has their triggers. The contaminating effect of the false ego has affected us as if we have contracted a contagious disease, sparking up a battle of the egos. As I mentioned in chapter 2, family life offers a battlefield to our false egos, especially between husband and wife. So much time and energy can be wasted arguing over petty details and trying to establish who is right and who is wrong. Instead of using such opportunities for our purification by letting go of the demands the false ego makes, we do the opposite. We protect and defend ourselves. We often witness this taking place in India's big cities in the traffic chaos. So at the end of the day, we don't want to be agitated, right? The thing is, we don't want to start a quarrel and be agitated. And that agitation can affect our Krishna consciousness. So we want to be peaceful. So let go of even certain things that may, yeah, especially in family life. Otherwise, it can lead to a lot of arguments, and everybody might have experienced this. We often witness this taking place in India's big cities in traffic chaos. One rickshaw driver comes too close to another, and immediately they start screaming at each other to keep more distance. This is my rickshaw. Can't you see I'm here? Move out of the way. I even witnessed situations where both jump out of their vehicles and beat each other up in the middle of the street, and passers-by come running to separate the two, sometimes by beating them also. In this way, the false ego is bouncing backwards and forwards. we may know the game between the rock, paper, and scissors. Hare Krishna, Krishna Chaitanya. Left, I think. Okay. We may know the game between the rock, paper, and scissors that people play by indicating with their hands. The fist shows the rock. The open hand, the paper. The open hand, the paper. The two stretched out fingers, the scissors. The scissors defeat the paper by cutting it. However, the paper can defeat the rock by wrapping. The rock can defeat the scissors by dulling them. Each one has power over one and is defeated by another. A materialist may suddenly be drowning while playing the game. So rock can defeat the scissors can defeat the paper. What is saying? The scissors can defeat the paper. Paper can defeat the rock by wrapping. The rock can defeat the scissors. A materialist may suddenly be drowning while playing the game. Though his head is already underwater, he will still hold up one hand, indicating the scissors. That's the story. Even in this situation, his false ego is pushing him to demonstrate it that he is victorious and will surely win the game. A similar phenomenon is very common over the internet or social media. Devotees can easily get caught in all kinds of discussion and debates. One person may say something to someone else in a provocative mood, and so many devotees receive the message. We may feel that we have to answer it. I cannot simply leave it like this. Otherwise, everybody will think this to be true. I have to make a statement. So one response is not to respond. Right? They say one response is not to respond. Sometimes it may not be necessary because it may waste our time and all these things. So it may just get into an argument. So, and by argument and all these things, you cannot get Krishna. Krishna can be gotten by devotion and humility. So, and surrender. So when we may win an argument and we may like prove ourselves right, but the thing is, we may not get Krishna. So we may get victory in this world, but we may not get Krishna. Then what is the use? So we may be compelled to respond. Then somebody twists around our response, makes it into a new weapon and shoots it back at us. Then we think, here we go again. Now I have to answer this. Otherwise, what will everybody think? And thus we are caught in an ego battle with no end in sight. It can go on forever. As a rule, the people involved are not interested in inquiring in a humble frame of mind, trying to find out the truth. Rather, everyone seeks an opportunity to prove that they are right and everyone else is wrong. The aim of such debates is to get the ego satisfaction by being the winner, the one who is right. And sometimes a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still, they say. So everybody has their conditioning and their whatever they think how it should be. So we are not in this world to prove ourselves right. We are here to get Krishna. So let everybody feel what they are right, and ultimately Krishna will teach everybody also. Because one devotee who came yesterday says, yes, Krishna made me very humble by beating me up. So like that. So Krishna will purify us. So we don't have to worry about everybody's purification, that we have to purify them. It's not, no, Krishna will purify. If we are having our false ego and everything, then Krishna will smash it. And thus we are caught in an ego battle with no end in sight. It can go on forever. As a rule, the people involved are not interested in inquiring in a humble frame of mind, trying to find out the truth. Rather, everyone seeks an opportunity to prove that they are right and everyone else is wrong. The aim of such debates is to get the ego satisfaction by being the winner, the one who is right. Okay, and read from here.
We can certainly feel the contamination such exchanges bring along. We may detect an angry and ugly feeling in our heart, and our mind is agitated. The whole discussion may continue without our head going around within our head going around in circles. It may take quite some time to let go of it and shake off this contamination, several hours or even days. The debates, right? Trying to prove ourselves right, the other person wrong. We are strongly advised not to participate in such discussions since they are highly contaminating. There is no need and even no use, since nobody derives any benefit or purification. Everybody only gets contaminated. Those who witness it and those who take part. Such exchanges are not uplifting to anybody. Better to simply respond with Hare Krishna and withdraw from any further discussion without further follow up. Therefore, in his book Bhakti Aloka, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentions debating as one of the various categories of prajalpa. So we should not talk on a debatable topic. No use. Doesn't give anybody's benefit. It's prajalpa. They are a contaminating waste of time and energy, which serious Vaishnavas avoid.
Yeah, there's so much talk about this. Where did we fall from? Whether women can be Diksha gurus or not. So much. There's so much being said, right? All these topics are going on.
Yeah, there are these topics, but any topic can start a debate.
Yeah. No, I'm saying, yeah, any topic, but there is so much going on in our society right now with about these topics that, yeah, and there have been so much like people have separated because of different conclusions that they come, and there is a lot of sometimes that creates a lot of camps. There's this on the other side, there's the Ritvik camp and all these things. So, okay.
Interestingly, two devotees may have very different opinions or approaches to certain aspects of devotional life and preaching. If they are beyond the false ego platform, they will not try to prove to each other that their own idea and opinion is superior. In humility, they will respect each other's differences and visions and will appreciate and honor the contribution the other person makes to Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement. So both devotees can be right and they may have their own opinions how uh, devotional life and preaching is to be done. So they respect each other's opinions as they appreciate and honor them. And there will be no tension between them. In fact, they can be the best friends going beyond the level of who's right and who knows better. Their friendship will be on the absolute platform of relishing the holy name and Krishna Katha and glorifying Srila Prabhupada. The problem starts as soon as our false ego enters a discussion. It is then we want to prove our superiority to one another by establishing that our vision and understanding is superior. Within spiritual life, there is so much room for variety in moods, tastes, and opinions. It is not all black and white, right and wrong. Unless we learn to humbly respect and value each other's approaches, we will struggle to fulfill Srila Prabhupada's instructions and vision on cultivating unity in diversity. It is a matter of false ego. Now, spiritual life is so diverse. They're different, it can be done in a variety of moods and tastes. So, can be several different approaches, and all may be right. Srila Prabhupada instructs us in his famous letter to Kirtananda on 18 October 1973. We must always remember this verse from Shikshashtakam and be as tolerant as the tree as we execute the Krishna consciousness movement. Without this mentality, we cannot be successful. Material nature means dissension and disagreement, especially in this Kali Yuga. But for this Krishna consciousness movement, its success will depend on agreement. Even though there are varieties of engagements, in the material world there are varieties, but there is no agreement. In the spiritual world there are varieties, but there is agreement. That is the difference. The materialist, without being able to adjust the varieties and the disagreement, makes everything zero. They cannot come into agreement with varieties. But if we keep Krishna in the center, then there will be agreement in varieties. That is called unity in diversity. I am therefore suggesting that all of our men meet in Mayapur every year during the birth anniversary of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, with all GBC and senior men present, we should discuss how to make unity in diversity. But if we fight on account of diversity, then it is simply the material platform. Please try to maintain the philosophy of unity in diversity. That will make our movement successful. One section of men has already gone out, therefore, we must be very careful to maintain unity in diversity. And remember the story in Aesop's fables of the father of many children with the bundle of sticks. Then the father asked his children to break the bundle of sticks wrapped in a bag. None of them could do it. But when they removed the sticks from the bag and tried one by one, the sticks were easily broken. So, this is the strength in unity. If we are bunched up, we can never be broken. But when divided, then we can become broken very easily. Are you speaking something?
No, I was. Yeah, if you anybody like to say, they can say. Yeah, it's like unity. If there is unity, then there'll be the movement will have momentum, right? Like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's movement was very dynamic, but when devotees quarreled, and they say Kali will try to create dissension within between devotees, not.
Yeah, that is the last lesson of Krishna. The Yadavas, they fought amongst themselves and the whole thing was destroyed. They were so powerful, no outside force could have destroyed them. They had a fight within the family.
Yeah, so within, yes, so otherwise, Yadus, they are all Krishna's associates, but they destroyed each other. So that is how it becomes. So we are here to glorify Krishna, and somebody may glorify Krishna in this way, somebody may glorify. Like in preaching also, everybody will have different styles of preaching, and somebody will do this kind of preaching, somebody will that kind of preaching. So everybody should see that everybody has a style of preaching, and everybody is an individual. So that everybody should that again that purport from Prabhupada comes that every Vaishnava should appreciate the service of other Vaishnavas and not be proud of his own service. So that something we have to always.
Yeah, and if we have different opinions, we respect each other's opinions and don't do debates. We
Correct.
stop and we say thank Hare Krishna and move on.
Yeah, that's what she was saying. Hare Krishna. And because by debates and things, all you cannot purify your heart. It only makes your heart agitated. And everybody has their understanding of Krishna consciousness. So it is valid for them and how they feel about it. So that's, and we may have our understanding of Krishna, how where the jiva was and where it came from, or whether it's what it is, how does one come to Krishna consciousness, whatever it is, everybody has their understanding in a certain way, and they are entitled to it because that is how Krishna has inspired them, and everybody is practicing devotee. So,
Mm.
so
So,
everybody is like,
yeah. So we say yes and instead of yes but means I don't agree with you. I think it this way. You say okay, you may be right, but I also have this opinion. So you can add to your the opinion, but don't negate others.
yes. The different views can be presented, and then everybody can see, like, yeah. But there should be no like fighting from the philosophical understanding. Of course, Prabhupada's books are our basis, and Bhagavad Gita is like the basis of all understanding all the things Krishna is speaking. So, if somebody says, "Oh, Krishna is not the supreme personality of God," then we can say, "No, this is the verse Krishna is saying." So, I am supreme personality of God. But most devotees agree on the basics. It's only in the practice of the how it is to be done or subtle understandings that is causing. But otherwise, everybody will agree that I am servant of Krishna. My life is to surrender to Krishna. I'm spirit, soul. I'm part and parcel of Krishna. So on that platform, everybody can unite. Okay. So,
Well, there are some impersonalists also. They say, I am Krishna. Right? So there are people in other schools of thought.
yeah, but I was talking about Vaishnava society, right? In our ISKCON society, everybody accepts that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we are one with Krishna, but different from Krishna. That Achintya Bheda Bhed philosophy is also there, but yeah, other sampradayas may not. I mean, impersonalists may not agree that Krishna has God as a form and God is a person. So that is there, yeah. But then they will not be able to sustain in this society, right? Because we are always talking about Krishna's activities and Krishna's personal form and his beauty, and so they will not be able to put their full faith in this. So, or sometimes some people may say, well, sense gratification is the goal of life. Then, if you say, come here, and you hear something against, then you'll not be able to. Then you are in the wrong society. Then you're in the wrong place, right? So, Jayadvaita Maharaj was saying like that. If you think that by sense gratification you are going to be happy, then you come to the wrong society, because this is teaching completely opposite of that. So then you have to find out a society which which like is in harmony with your ideas. Then you'll be peaceful. Okay. Yeah. So I can read a little bit. A Vaishnava doesn't defend himself. The first very practical tool of Vaishnava etiquette that helps us immensely to subdue or false ego is the instruction that a Vaishnava should never defend himself. We should stand up to defend Krishna, our Guru, or other Vaishnavas when they face injustice, but are never ourselves. This rule of etiquette is rather subtle and not so widely discussed, and sometimes entirely unknown. Consequently, we don't apply it in our daily lives. We may even follow the very opposite. We eagerly defend ourselves at any given opportunity, but we shy away when it comes to defending other Vaishnavas when they are unfairly treated. We don't want to stick our necks out and fear ruining our relationships or reputation. And we hide behind an attitude of thinking others' devotee situations are their personal matter and not our concern. Our Vaishnava culture teaches us to do the opposite. When we defend ourselves, whom do we defend? We are protecting our false ego. Therefore, it is highly recommended to refrain from doing so. If you all follow this etiquette, then there'll be no need to defend ourselves, as we'll be too busy defending one another. Even when a devotee defends another, this should also be done in a humble mood, without desire to demonstrate that we are right and know better than others. Even when defending others, we may fall into the trap of using the situation to establish our superior position, which indicates the contaminating influence of false ego. So my opinions are also very valuable. So this can also be, whatever I'm saying is right? So everybody has that. Everybody will have their reasons to say what they are saying is right. Nevertheless, since it does not defend and protect our own ego, as much as we defend ourselves, it is less polluting. Okay. There is an exception that justifies defense. When one of the six aggressors attack us, in his purport to Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada states, according to Vedic injunctions, there are six kinds of aggressors. A poison giver, one who sets fire to the house, one who attacks with deadly weapons, one who plunders riches, one who occupies another's land, and one who kidnaps a wife. Such aggressors are at once to be killed, and no sin is incurred by killing such aggressors. Needless to say, according to the present law, we would be jailed for killing most of these aggressors. However, the essence is that only these circumstances justify defense, and such attacks don't take place every day. They are exceptional emergency situations which occur very rarely. Those subtle attacks on the false ego, however, we are recommended to simply tolerate, allowing them to pass by without getting disturbed and without defending. If we can do this, then spiritually, we'll be the winner. We hear disciples of Srila Prabhupada sharing how he would severely chastise devotees who would not follow this etiquette towards him, but rather defend themselves or try to answer back to Srila Prabhupada in a defensive mood. But Srila Prabhupada, it was not like this. But Srila Prabhupada would react very strongly, resorting to his thunderbolt of chastisement. Hari Das shares in his Transcendental Diary an episode that took place in Calcutta on 5th February 1977. Prabhupada was speaking to Abhiram, and we'll end with this, and Gargamuni this morning in his room about some local matters, and I was also present at the back. I wasn't paying much attention, though, and I was absorbed in trimming off bits of skin on my fingers. Prabhupada noticed this, and in mid-conversation, he looked up and said something to me. However, I was so absorbed that I didn't hear him. So then he shouted and told me off for always playing around with my fingers, but not hearing. When I speak, you should listen attentively. It is not just for them that I'm speaking. And he called me a rascal and noted that this is becoming a bad habit of late. So he was maybe doing something with his fingers and biting some skin. Or earlier on, also I had a scene with Akshay on the veranda. Prabhupada's dictaphone runs on the normal AC current, but the power here is all DC. So when it translates at night, there is a switch on the other side of the wall of the room which changes the current over. I sent Akshay around to switch back to DC, but before I had a chance to unhitch the dictaphone, he gave permission for one of the devotees to switch the current. Fortunately, I had a small transformer connected but before the dictaphone, and this blew, but not the dictaphone. I went back out and got very angry with him and shouted at him. He was saying he didn't know, so it wasn't his fault, and I was getting angrier. Because if he didn't know, then that was my point. He shouldn't have done anything until he did know. Anyway, the result was that Prabhupada had to send Gargamuni out to tell me to stop creating a disturbance. If the man didn't know, Prabhupada said, then why is he shouting at him? So Prabhupada wasn't too pleased with me today due to my disturbed consciousness, which the shouting and inattentiveness were symptoms of. Then a while later, with no one else in the room, Prabhupada called me in and asked me to get a red file from out of his almirah. I looked and couldn't see anything, so I said, Prabhupada, there isn't a red file. So again he said, pass me the red file. So due to my dull brain, I again said, well, Prabhupada, actually there is no red file. Although I could see some others, one of which was pinkish red. Prabhupada was really annoyed by this time, and then when I pulled out the file, thinking maybe this is one he meant, I tried to justify my mistake by saying that actually it's pink, it's not really red. Prabhupada let me have it. He shouted at the top of his voice with his lip quivering and his back straight and his eyes wide open in anger. So now you have learned how to defend yourself very nicely. Every time I ask you something, you simply defend. You have become such a rascal. And he continued rebuking me for about 5 minutes. It was great mercy because this tendency to defend myself, even when I am wrong, has been getting stronger and stronger of late. And Prabhupada has patiently tolerated it but it has not gone unnoticed. And today he came smashing down on my false ego with full force. Fortunately, I had enough intelligence by Krishna's mercy to understand that it is Prabhupada's special mercy, that it takes so much time and trouble to train us up, to make us Krishna conscious. This is one of the great advantages of being with him personally. Whatever fault is there, he very kindly exposes it in order that we can advance more and more in Krishna's service. And he does not indulge in flattery in order to keep us serving him. He is not short of praise whenever we do something nice. But he is alert to his duty as our guru to bring us to a clear understanding of Krishna as possible. Defending is one of the material symptoms, and Prabhupada detected it in me and took the necessary action to get me out of it. All I could do was hang my head and feel ashamed at having been such a disturbance. Then he sent me out, but I felt very relieved and much happier at having been relieved of my Maya, and very thankful to Prabhupada for taking the trouble to do it. Okay, we'll stop here. So, yeah, sometimes we may think that criticism is not just. Yeah, that is also another thing. So he was thinking it's not red and it's actually pink, but Prabhupada could sense something. And when Prabhupada chastised him, he was feeling happy. That's another thing. So when the pure devotees are like who are free from envy, they say something, and if we perceive them to be our well-wisher, then we will take it in the right spirit. So, okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you everyone for joining and sharing. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you very